Hello everyone, I'm Shruti Agrawal, and in this video we are going to discuss about networking in Python. So what is a network actually? A network is nothing but interconnection of computers. That may be some connection between two computers or many. Now, in network, there are few computers that provide services and there are few computers that receive the services. So the computer that receive the services are called client machines. The other computers which provide their services in the network are called as server machines. There are basically three requirements to establish any network. The first requirement is hardware, second one is software, third one is protocol. So hardware includes computers, cables, modems, routers, hubs, etc. Software includes the program to communicate between servers and clients. Protocol represents a way to establish connection and help in sending and receiving the data in the standard format. There are basically two types of protocol models based on which other protocols are developed. The first one is TCP/IP protocol, second one is UDP protocol. So TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. It is a standard model used in any network, including internet. TCP/IP protocol is basically a connection-oriented, reliable protocol. There is one more thing that for any website, let's say www.gmail.com, we are provided with a corresponding IP address. So if we have the IP address of any website and we want the name of website out of it, that is nothing but called as DNS. Now, the second protocol is UDP protocol. UDP protocol is basically a connectionless and unreliable protocol. There are few other protocols like HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is used on internet and used to transfer the web pages. Then we have FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol, which is useful to download or upload the files from or to the server. Then SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, which is useful to send the mails on the network. Then next one is POP, that is Post Office Protocol, is used to receive the mails into the mailboxes. Then we have NNTP, that is Network News Transfer Protocol, that is used to transfer news article on internet. Now, the next concept is, what is socket? So, to establish a logical connection point between a server and a client so that the communication can be done to that particular point, we need a socket. Every socket is having an identification number, which is also called as port number. So port number generally takes 2 bytes. That means the port number range can be from 0 to 65,535. Every new service on the net should be assigned a new port number. So generally, the port number from 0 to 1023 are used by our computer system for various applications, and hence for our services we avoid to use these port numbers. Server or any network use socket to connect to client. So let's say we have multiple clients connected to a server. In that case, we need multiple port numbers. Now, we'll start with the very first program to understand the basics of socket programming. So first of all, what we are going to learn in this lecture series, that is, first of all, few basic programs on socket, then TCP IP server, TCP IP client-side programming, the same way UDP server, UDP client-side programming, then file server, file client-side programming, and then two-way communication between server and client by developing a chat box. Then let's start with the very first program. That let's say we are provided with any website address, any website name that is www.google.co.in, then how to find out the IP address out of it. So to perform that function, first of all, we need a module with name socket. We have to import that module. Now, to whatever website I just want the IP address, I have saved that string in a variable called host. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using a function with name get host by name. What this function is doing, this function is accepting the name of that particular website and resolving it into the IP address. Then we are passing our host string in this function. Then finally we are saving the output in ADDR, and then here we are printing the IP address. But then there is one possibility that the website that we have given here does not exist. So in that case, we are handling it by exception. So we are using GAI error. That is nothing but get address information error. So if the website does not exist, it will be handled here. So let's execute the program and see the output. Okay, so as you can see, it is showing us the IP address of google.co.in here. Now, the next program is, that is a Python program to retrieve the different part of URL and display them. So what basically we are doing in this program, we are doing parsing. Let's say we are provided with a URL HTTP, then a particular website name, then port number, and then some path with slash. Then if this URL is provided to us and I just want to know the different parts of that URL, for that what we can do, we can use URL lib.parse module. We have to import that, and in that we have to use URL parse function. And whatever URL I just want to parse, I can pass that URL directly here. And it will give us the output in the form of tuple. So that tuple I can print directly here. So let's execute this part and see the output. Okay. So as you can see here, there are different segments in which that URL is giving us the output. That segments are, first one is scheme. So which scheme we are using here? We are using HTTP. Then it is giving us net location. That will actually, it returns us the website name with the port number. So this is the website name with the port number. Then next thing it is giving us as path. So whatever path is existing, it is displaying us the path here. Then whatever parameters in the URL, there is none. Then query and fragments. These are the different things that we are getting out of this function, that is URL parse. If I want to display different parts separately, for that we can execute this part of code. So as you can see here, the port number it is giving here, and then it is returning us the same URL. This I am doing by using get URL, and I am using the same object, that is TP1. So this is the program. Now there is one more program. Let's say I just want to read the source code of any particular web page. For that, again, we can code a Python program. It needs URL lib.request module. Now, what we are doing, we are using this URL open function out of this particular module, and I am passing the website URL from which I just want to read the content. So if I'll execute this program, to this object, what we are doing, we are reading everything out of this object. So let's execute the program and see the output. Okay, so as you can see here in IPython console, it is showing us lots and lots of code that has been done out of this page, that is www.python.org. We can see the source code here. Now, what I want is that this particular source code should get saved into a particular file, that too with .html extension, so that I can see the view of that particular page. For that, what we can do, we have one more program. So it is basically downloading a web page from the internet and saving it on your system. So again, the same module we'll import, that is URL lib.request. Then in the try block, okay, why we need try except here? Because there is a possibility that the URL I have given here does not exist. So if it does not exist, it should be handled by this except block. Then in the same way, what we are doing here, as we have done with the previous program, we are just opening this particular file and reading everything. Whatever we are reading, we are just saving it into the content object. And this content object we are using here. So as we have learned in the file handling, we can create a file by using open file, and then we are giving here the access as write binary. So this myfile.html will be the name of the file, and it is writing everything whatever existing with the content object, and then finally it is closing the connection, closing the file. So let's execute and see the output. But prior to that, check your current working directory. Right now I am here, that is desktop Python lecture / networking. So whatever will be saved, it will be saved in this location only. So let's execute the program. Okay, so it is not showing anything here as output, but let's go to that particular folder. So this is the folder. As you can see here, we have a web page with name myfile, as we have given the myfile.html here. So let's open the web page. Okay, so this is the web page that got saved as a result of your program. Now, the next program is, if I want to download some image from the internet on your machine. So for that, again, the same procedure, we have to import URL lib.request. In this URL, we have to give the path with .jpg extension. Whatever image I want to download, I have to give this complete path. Now, what we are doing here is, we are giving URL retrieve and we are passing the URL, and the image should be saved with this particular name, that is myimage.jpg. So let's execute the program and see the output. Again, the image that will be saved in the current working directory. So we have saved here the current working directory as Python lecture / networking. So let's execute the program and see. Okay, so here you can see we have a JPG file that got downloaded because of the execution of this program. So that's all in this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to learn a little bit about the client server programming. Thank you.